such bad luck, Sophia!
From one of the writers of Cocaine Bear and one of the writers of The Babysitter Killer Queen, Jimmy Warden directs this movie, Borderline, which has come out this year, which stars Ray Nicholson and also Samara Weaving in this psychological horror film, but also a film that definitely plays on itself. The more that you watch it and the more that you get into it, you realize that it plays on itself. Let's get into this review. My girlfriend and I had never heard about it. We were just kind of scrolling through one day on Peacock trying to find something to watch. I mean, there's so many things to watch nowadays, but there's so much that sometimes you don't even know what to watch, and it feels like there's nothing really to watch because there's so much to watch, if that makes any sense. Probably not, but whatever. So as I said earlier, we have Samara Weaving and Ray Nicholson starring in this movie, mainly the main stars in this movie, and Samara Weaving plays Sophia, a 90s pop star, very rich, very successful, doing her thing and thriving and surviving. And we have Ray Nicholson, who plays Paul Dewerson, a overly psychotic and crazed fan who broke into her house originally. He got arrested and he escaped the psychological ward. So that's where we are with this movie. From what I gather, the basic synopsis is Eric Dane, who plays Bell, the main security guard for Sophia, knows about this guy Paul. He knows that he's crazy. He knows that he's obsessed with Sophia. So anytime he sees him, he tries to kind of appease him in a way, but still telling him to back off, pretends to be Sophia at certain points because this guy is so crazy and he doesn't know what he'll do. So we see that Sophia gets involved with a guy named Rhodes, who is played by Jimmy Fails, who turns out to be a basketball player for the Portland Trail Blazers. We kind of go through this whole motion of seeing Sophia's character kind of be a little bit snooty. I mean, a 90s pop star, the way she looks, the way she acts, she's very snooty, very full of herself and into herself, thinks she can't really be touched, and she already knew about something that happened at her place, but she kind of just brushed it off. It's just a very interesting film because there were several things that I found throughout the film, that we both found throughout the film, that we were kind of like, well, that doesn't really make any sense. If I was a big pop star and one of my main security guards got hurt and somebody broke into my house and did all this stuff, I feel like I would know about it, or at least be a lot more upset or something. So there were just a few things that we'll get to later on that it just didn't really make any sense. Overall, I did enjoy the film. It is a good film. It just, there were some things that they could have done a little bit better. They didn't have to rush over certain things. A lot of things were implied. And more importantly, this movie definitely plays on itself. So it's kind of making fun of itself as it's going, but there are some still serious moments or interesting moments within it. So there's two extra characters in this movie that stood out to me very, very much, and I was very impressed with them. Alba Baptista and Patrick Cox, who Alba Baptista plays Penny, a female that was inside the mental institution with Paul, that they became platonic friends, as he so loves to emphasize to Sophia that they are strictly platonic. And she was amazing. Like, the psychotic factor, the crazy factor, the flip of the script so fast, it was just really amazing. It was one of the top characters for me.
This is Penny.
She's a big fan of yours.
I killed someone.
Look at that. Friends already.
Then you have Patrick Cox, who plays J.H. Calhoun, who is this big guy. He's missing an eye, and he's not all the way there, but he helps out Paul, and he's more honest than anything. And the way how he carries himself, he's like a little kid, but just in this big wrestler type body. And the way how him and Penny help out Paul, it's very interesting to see all these psychotic people going together and doing all of these stupid antics, because realistically speaking, if anybody tried this nowadays, or just at all in general, they wouldn't get as far as these people did. Get it? Don't get me wrong. I get it's a movie. It's a little bit of fantasy mixed in with some real life stuff that happens. But the way how movies do things to make people more engaged is to make it as realistic as possible. And just some of the things that happened in there was just like, okay, well, obviously this movie is kind of just making fun. And there's like musical numbers throughout, and you're just like, are we watching the same movie? There's just a few things that kind of take you out a little bit if that's not your niche for movies. For us, we were having a great time with it. Obviously, that we were critiquing it throughout, and there were several things, again, more than what I've already said, that just didn't really make sense to be in the film, or it just didn't really make sense why that happened, or why this person did that, and how this person might still be alive, or whatever the case is. Ray Nicholson, even though I said Alba Baptista really stood out for me in this film, Ray Nicholson really embodied his father, Jack, and the acting and the psychoticness and the looks. He really impressed me with this film. Man, this movie, he really showcased his like acting prowess, the way how he could just be absolutely psychotic. There are a few scenes that I could tell that were just done in one shot. The facial reactions and the emotions and the cycle of emotions. He really just went above and beyond to make this character Paul seem like the most psychotic person you've ever seen, and he succeeded because he did a great job at fulfilling this role. He understood the assignment and took the assignment to the next level. Another thing about this film that if you're going to watch it just to know, it is very silly at times, almost too silly at times for what the actual nature of the film should be. It's supposed to be a film where this 90s pop star gets their house broken into, and this guy is getting rid of people that are in his way, and he wants to marry this girl, and he will do it by any means necessary. And he's so psychotic that he thinks that she actually wants him and that she wants to get married and she wants to do this. Oh, I got the church ready. And it's like, what the hell, bro? You are a psycho. Get the hell away from me.
We're getting married?
What, are you having second thoughts?
So there were just some times where like they would input humor at like the wrong time to me personally. And I said something about big musical numbers, and there's one really, really big one after somebody gets injured and then something else happens, and then there's this really big musical number, and you're very confused because it's like, wait, why? Hold on. What are we doing here? Why is she so into this when this just happened and that just happened? And you come to think that, oh, maybe it's all a ploy, but it really isn't. It's part of the movie, and it's just like, okay, they're definitely playing on themselves here, because there's no way that you could just switch it up like that. I mean, you could, it could have been like a ploy to distract her and get her, to leave her alone and do something so that she could, escape or whatever the case is. But that's not really what happened. There were just times throughout the film where I was just kind of like, really? I mean, I'm still enjoying this, but I could see why it was rated the way it was rated, because if you go into it thinking that it's going to be a horror film, which is what we thought it was going to be a very big psychological horror film mixed in with some blood and gore. And while there was blood and gore and psychological things within the film, wasn't really a horror film. The preview really made it seem like it was going to be a really big psychological horror film, and it was more of a comedy to me, to be honest with you. That's just something I want people to know, is going into this, it's going to seem more like a comedy psychological horror film than an actual psychological horror film, if that makes sense. But as I said earlier, Ray Nicholson was the standout person in this, along with Alba Baptista. Those two, they really got the creep factor and psychological factor through the roof, over the ticker. Like, it was really, really well done. Loved the way how the cinematography panned to some of the things sometimes where you could tell that it was either in his head, he was seeing certain things that weren't really there or weren't really portrayed as they should have been. And I do appreciate the actors and actresses for really giving into their roles, because they definitely gave 110%. The things that happened with like cross-dressing and acting certain ways and being a certain, giddy when they didn't need to be giddy, and just for the nature of the film, I have to give my respect to the actors and actresses for that, because they went above and beyond to do the assignment in this film, and I will say that the assignment was fulfilled. So thank you for joining me for this review. Much appreciated. You know the drill. Leave a like and a comment down below, and subscribe if you aren't. Thanks again for watching, guys. Until the next one.